Hey! What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Witch Watch.
Yeah, this is one that I wasn't really aware of. That you were like, we gotta watch this show. And I was like, okay, Witch Watch. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, it is a very silly show, I'll just say right off the bat. It is very silly, but in all the right ways.
Yeah, no, it's cool. First off, I was really surprised to find out that this was Shonen Jump.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I guess this is a bigger deal than I thought. The home of Demon Slayer and Naruto, all the bigs.
Well, it also, you wouldn't necessarily expect it because you're following a teenage witch girl and her the guy that she likes, who is an ogre, oni, demon, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
It's very silly. It doesn't necessarily seem like something you'd find in shonen, but it really does fit there in weird ways.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cute and fun. When we watched the first episode, I was like, I don't know. I'm like, are we getting into another My Friend No-Katan? But then the second episode, there were so many references to Shonen Jump stuff. I'm wearing this Demon Slayer shirt because that was one of the references.
Well, that's kind of the thing. It's a really funny show that constantly references things, and so it's made for fans. It's made for fans of Shonen Jump. It's made for fans of anime culture and Japanese culture in general.
Oh, for sure. The second episode was Dragon Ball Z reference, Attack on Titan reference, Hunter x Hunter, Demon Slayer. Mm-hmm. We've had some rough things with me reviewing comedies on this show because I really am a fan, first and foremost, of how anime can do it all.
Yeah.
Of how, Naruto and One Piece are perfect examples. They are as funny as they are heartbreaking. Right. The action is awesome. It's thrilling. It can do everything. And I was worried that this was just going to be, silly, romance stuff. Which I'm fine with, but I'm like, oh, I want more.
Yeah.
But this has got, I totally get why it's Shonen Jump, because it does have the romance, it does have the comedy, but it also has action, and it does a lot. And I will say, though, some of the things in this show are, hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, in a way that you don't expect from this kind of show. Yeah. And it also does some things that are heartbreaking and some things that really get you emotionally in a hilarious way. But to say a little bit about what the story is, the main character is Miko.
Yes.
She's a witch. She's a
teenage
witch.
Witch in training.
Yes. And she's been sent back to a town that she sort of grew up in for a little while when she was young, to be sort of looked after by a boy her age who, as I said before, Morihito is a ogre, oni, demon.
Yeah, that was a weird thing for us because in the subtitles it says ogre, but then they say oni, and I always think of oni as demon.
Yeah.
Which I guess is basically synonymous in Japan.
They're sort of synonymous because demon doesn't mean the same thing as it does in sort of American culture.
Yeah.
So she's sent so that he can sort of look after her and help her out because he's ultra strong and has special martial arts training.
Well, he has ogre Kigan.
Yes.
So, respect.
Absolutely. And so a lot of it is them going to school and doing silly stuff, and him trying to be don't let anyone know you're a witch at first, and then her being but I'm a witch!
It unfolds pretty quickly when everyone finds out she's a witch. But part of it is because part of her witch training is to help people.
Yeah. With her witch powers.
She's like Glenda the Good Witch, she's got to be there for the people. And so it becomes really quickly, it unfolds, within the second episode.
But the thing is, a big part of the reason that he wants her to keep it under wraps is because there's a prophecy that he was told about that she wasn't, where she is in extreme danger.
Yeah.
And so he's all worried about her and looking out for her, and he keeps getting messages about, where the danger might be. And so, so that's sort of an overarching thing.
Yeah.
But the episodes themselves, they might deal with that, but most of them don't.
You're so excited.
I'm running out of breath.
Yeah, it is very much a comedy overall. And one of the things I really like about it is they do a thing sort of like House Husband, where they kind of have mini episodes per episode.
Yeah.
They usually do 2 smaller episodes
sometimes
in
3.
one episode, sometimes 3. And I really love that. I mean, some of the things I thought were so funny. is like pretty much every time Nico uses her power to try to improve her situation or do a task, it goes horribly awry, which is like really funny. It kind of feels like that old show Bewitched or something like that, right?
Well, I also like that, anytime she's using it to help someone out, she gives them a warning. She's like, this probably won't turn out exactly how we're thinking, but but we can try it.
Or unless she does it for herself and then it really goes awry. Like the time that she had to move all these boxes, so she split herself into two.
Oh my god.
But the problem was that like splitting herself into two, the two of them only have equal the strength of one of her.
Because not only like it actually split her in two where there were tiny Nikos, two tiny Nikos.
Yeah. And it just kept on going.
And they were also
so funny.
Half the
intelligence. Yeah, it's so good. And I really like the relationship between her and Morihito.
Yeah.
He's the cool guy, and she's sort of like the manic pixie dream girl. There's that romance there, but also, he's there to protect her. And the fact that they have this childhood relationship, there's a lot of that in anime that we've recently seen too. Obviously the most popular being the whole Eren and Mikasa thing in Attack on Titan, but also more recently Kaiju number 8.
Yes.
I also like all the other characters.
Yeah.
The Crow character, Khan, he's really funny.
He's really funny.
He's that classic, every anime that's shonen has that airhead blonde guy.
Yeah.
Zenatsu. Windbreaker has Windbreaker version of Zenatsu. One Piece obviously has Sanji. It's just this common trope that I kind of love, and he falls into that.
Yeah, they can be powerful, but they're airheaded. Yeah.
Which is crazy though, because we've seen 9 episodes now, and episode 8 is my favorite episode, because both parts of it are excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent TV. And he is the main character of that episode.
Because it does certain tropes in the most unexpected way.
Yeah.
And they're kind of brilliant, and they have areas that are kind of heartbreaking, and they're hilarious, and it was such an incredibly well-conceived episode that, oh my god.
Well, the episode 8, with the first part, the Otoman thing, is I kind of think one of the funniest things I've ever seen in anime.
Yeah.
And also very clearly written by an adult.
Yes, 100%.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, we all know that that manga, is written by adults for the most part, but they tend to have, like, more, like, teenage themes.
Yeah.
This was funny because it was, like, a teenager reacting to something written by, like, a middle-aged man.
Yeah, totally.
And it's so funny. It's so good. It's just a good time.
Yeah.
But there's enough stakes and relevance to the overarching story that I'm like involved with the character development.
Yeah.
Unlike some comedies where I'm sort of like I kind of get bored because then it's all reliant on the comedy, and it's like I think comedy needs to take its time.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I do want to know what I want to know why she's in danger.
Yeah.
We want to see that sort of unfold, but at the same time, I enjoy every episode, even if they have nothing to do with that. I mean, there's an otaku teacher.
Yes.
She loves manga, and so like she calls out a lot of the references sometimes.
And it's stuff I've never seen. Now, granted, I don't watch a lot of Magic Girl anime, and I don't watch a lot of like teenage romance anime, so maybe this stuff has all happened before. The thing about the otaku teacher who is like her favorite fan art artist is one of her students was I was like, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before in an anime or manga. And let us know in the comments down below. Maybe this is something that's happened in something else I haven't seen.
Well, that's the other thing. So many things in this are references to other things that we won't necessarily get, but we definitely get a lot of them.
But I will say in general, they make references like Gintama makes references where they say the thing as opposed to like the theme itself is, like my favorite, like one of my favorite things they did was there was this class recess thing where she allows everybody to fly, and they were breaking up the different kind of students, and like one was like they're like the ones that are recreating Dragon Ball Z, and there's like they're flying and they have power around them, and I was just like, that's so cool, that's so excellent. I really like the show.
I do too.
It's a good time.
We've watched 9 episodes of it so far. Theoretically, there's supposed to be 26, but that has not been officially confirmed.
Yeah, I've seen that it's supposed to be 2 cours. hours and probably 26 episodes. But either way, we watched it on Crunchyroll. It's also on Netflix, which is really cool. And I gotta be honest, it's just a great time.
It is.
I think if you like anime like Black Clover, like Mashal,
if you like any of the shonen based anime, the references in it, it's worthwhile watching it for the references.
Also, I think like Way the House Husband, like I think it's got those like vibes of like fun and cute, and nothing is, there are stakes, but overall, you know what's also really weird?
What?
This and To Be Hero X, we have like 2 anime this year. I know technically one's a Donwell, but we have 2 anime this year where like there's an episode where a character is like auditioning to play a superhero in a stage play for kids.
Yeah, you're right. That's weird.
It's like, it's so strange. But I will say, as much as I like Isol, I mean, Otoman is the superior superhero.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Once you watch episode 8, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
But yeah, if you're just looking for a good comedy, this is great. Like we said, because the episodes are generally broken up into sort of 2 different parts, you can even, if you just want to watch something for like 15 minutes, you can, cut your episodes in half. Witch Watch. Watch it. Yeah.
Because it's in the title already. So, I mean, in a way, it's like, it'd be rude to not watch it. Okay, guys, what is your favorite shonen anime? Let us know in the comments down below. Quick, which is your favorite one?
Nope, not gonna do it.
No?
Not gonna do it.
No.
Nope.
I couldn't decide either. All right, guys, talk to you later. Bye!